Hi! First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for the invitation and for the opportunity to be part of this event. I'm very glad to collaborate with an initiative that celebrates game development from in development and emerging countries. I really appreciate there's a platform aiming to elevate and connect voices that might be otherwise marginalized. I think that there should be more events like this one. So just a quick introduction. My name is Maureen Berho. I am the CEO and producer at Niebla Games, a tabletop and video game development company based in Valparaíso, Chile. I'm currently collaborating with Latinx In Gaming as the country lead for Chile, and also leading a research initiative about the gaming industry in Chile with support of the Trade Association of Video Game Development Companies, Video Games Chile, and also the Latin Video Games Federation, a federation that gathers Latin American trade associations. In this brief presentation, I will address some of the perks and challenges of developing games from Chile, from our experience. I'll share a bit about what we're working on as game developers, as a small indie team, but I'll mostly let you know about some initiatives and organizations I'm working with, which aim to promote and create more opportunities for game developers in Chile and Latin America. So Niebla Games is the team I co-founded almost 5 years ago. Today we are a 6-person indie team based in the vibrant port city of Valparaíso, Chile. We mainly focus on creating our own original tabletop and video game projects, but we also offer work for hire for national and international clients. Our first game is the indie strategy card game Causa Voices of the Dusk, which stands out for its innovative game mechanics and also its beautiful art. This game is currently available for free on Steam Early Access, and its full release is planned for early next year. We are also working in a couple of other mobile game prototypes, with Hexland Heroes as our current working title. Well, in our experience, some of the perks of developing games from Chile are the following. First, there's a lot of creativity and passion about game developers in Chile, as well as a strong culture of collaboration at a local scale. According to data of 2018, 3/3 of the approximately 80 game development teams in Chile were working in their own IPs. Well, an example of the outstanding spirit of cooperation in Chile is the high representation of game developers in the Trade Association of Game Development Companies, Video Games Chile, which is the only organization of this type in the country. This trade association has grown from 8 to approximately 40 affiliated companies since its foundation in 2009. Which is approximately half of the currently active development companies and startups in the country. The Chilean teams are in general very friendly and open to sharing their knowledge. This has really made a huge difference for us in terms of an indie team, because we get to learn from their experience and all their trajectory. However, apart from this organization, the Video Games Chile Trade Association, which is mainly business-oriented, there's also other communities and initiatives aiming to create more opportunities for the game developers at a local scale. Some of them are the monthly gathering called Game the Planet, also the Chilean chapter of Women Game Jam, and the different sides of the Global Game Jam, as well as other communities and informal groups of people who are passionate about making games. Also, today I'm very glad to mention that I'm part of an informal network of women, which is just emerging, and which I think will be a great initiative to bring support and also promote the inclusion of women in our industry. Additionally, another important perk is that the Chilean public sector has recognized the gaming industry as a relevant creative industry, so there's significant support and programs from public institutions, which look to support the production and internationalization of Chilean video games. In general terms, this public support doesn't come from a centralized agency. It comes from different agencies that intervene in specific stages of game development, from production to commercialization. Some of these sources of public funding are aimed specifically to game development companies. Others also promote creative industries in general or startups of a wider type. The main institutions in Chile that provide funding are agencies from different ministries, such as the Ministry of Culture, the Ministry of Economy, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Well, some of these funds have a specific focus. For example, there's some funds that aim to support teams that are founded by women. And also, there's some very interesting programs that aim to promote the national ecosystem of entrepreneurship by attracting international developers and startups. These competitive funds range from $30,000 to $100,000 of funding for development of the development or commercialization of the selected projects. Well, regarding the challenges of developing games from Chile, I would say that these are very common to all the developing countries, but I would like to mention some. First, there's a big challenge in building your own path in the field of game development, both as a professional, like an individual, and also as a startup. We are still a very small industry with around 300 professionals working in the different fields required for game development. In average, there's less than 10 workers per company, and only a few companies have more than 10 workers. There's a few cases of companies with 30 or even 70 workers, but the industry is still small. Well, most of the companies are startups and professionals who are learning on their own. There's strong careers in engineering and art, which are traditional in Chile, but the careers focused in game development are very new, and we don't have like an evaluation in terms of their quality and in terms of their capacity of job insertion for their graduates. There's a few branches of major companies, like international companies in Chile, but these are still scarce. And we've seen in the recent years that a few of them have even closed their overseas operations. So there's still, like the experience of working in a consolidated company is still relatively uncommon. Which makes a huge difference in comparison to the experience that have the professionals in the global center. So building your own path here in Chile in game development has a lot of challenges in different levels. Not only you must learn as a professional and also in terms of game development, but also you need to form and consolidate your team, and build your presence as a Chilean game creator, both at the national and international scale. Even though we have some outstanding and internationally recognized game developers, such as Ace Team, Chile is still better known for its primary products, such as copper and wine, and we hope this can change in the following years. Well, there's also still a long way to go in terms of the professionalization of our industry. In my opinion, some of the biggest challenges are in the field of business development and the economic sustainability of the game development companies. For instance, there's still very high flexibility in the sector, with approximately 1/3 of the professionals working under freelance contracts. The amount of private investment in the sector is still very low, and there's a challenge in learning how to connect with national and foreign investors. Needless to say that this is very challenging because you need to learn how to create and work on your first projects, but also learn about business development and all that this entails. On another hand, there's still a relevant challenge in terms of inclusion and turning our industry into a better place with opportunities for everyone. According to the most recent data that we have, there's only 14% of women in our industry, which is even lower than the global average. There's also a huge challenge in terms of decentralization because Chile is a very long country, and the major part of the Chilean teams are concentrated in our country's capital, Santiago. So there's a lot of professionals from other parts of the country and organizations that are aiming to foster the inclusion for opportunities in other regions. Finally, I'd like to point out that even though our sector is growing and is being recognized by public agencies, there's still a big and relevant gap in terms of specific data about our industry. This is apparent in Chile, but also in other countries of Latin America. To date, most of the available studies about the gaming sector at a country scale refer to countries in North America and Europe. This is why we're working in a research initiative about the gaming industry in Chile, with support of the trade association Video Games Chile and the Latin Video Games Federation, which will aim to produce data about the sector in Chile with the possibility of being replicated also in other countries of Latin America. We really hope this experience will be helpful to create specific data about our sector. Well, so I hope this gives you an overview of what are the challenges and perks of creating games from Chile. If you would like to share any comments or questions, you can reach out to me in social media and also at Maureen at nieblagames.com. Thank you very much again.